Welcome to the Batch Boys. We are boys who love the Batch. Boys, should we toast to episode 5, week 5, 6? What week is it?
I have no idea how to count.
I have no idea how to count because ABC keeps screwing us up with these two-parters and the half and halves. It's week 6, I think, of the Batch Boys. 6th week of our show. Definitely week 6th week of JoJo's show. I'm Ryan S.
I'm KCS.
And I don't... There were other guys here.
Are there more than you and me?
I don't remember. The numbers have been dropping.
Oh my gosh.
The weeks are flying by. The numbers are plummeting.
I do recall a Jake C and a Daniel B.
That's not ringing any bells at all at this point.
Oh my gosh.
If you members of Bach Boys Nation remember anyone by the names of Jake or Daniel, tweet at us at Bach Boys, Instagram us at The Bach Boys, or Facebook us at Bach Boys Facebook fan page because we don't remember. Maybe there's some pictures on there we could check out.
Look, just like Bachelor Nation, or like The Bachelor itself, I should say, The Bachelorette, we are losing people quick because we're getting down to the wire. And
unless you're JoJo, in which case you're just going to keep every last straggler just to keep the show going.
She just can't decide, okay?
She just needs a second. I need a second.
I think, and not to like put the cart before the horse, but just quick opinion on that. I think it's because James T and Alex are such different heights that she just wanted to keep them both to keep an average man there by the combination of the two.
Get a nice mean height.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. Cheers to us, the two Batch Boys this week.
Yay.
Jake C, Daniel B. Honestly, it's so many other activities to keep track of, I don't even know what to say. But we miss you, and we hope you come back soon. And believe it, you're going to have a great time with us tonight, Batch Boys Nation, because we're the fun ones. We're like the cool parents that when it's just you guys, when it's all your friends and you're at the cool parents' house, you know, you get to do fun stuff.
We buy you tricks for kids for breakfast.
Yeah.
None of that Raisin Bran.
Yeah, and we have a trampoline, and one of those that doesn't have the nets around it.
Just a couple cinder blocks.
Yeah, just to hold it down.
Do you ever notice that when you went to that friend who had the trampoline, there was always like a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be around a trampoline next to it?
My parents didn't let me have a trampoline, and I wasn't allowed to hang out with people who had trampolines. Actually, the few friends I had who had trampolines, I ended up growing apart from because I think we just had drastically different upbringings. Yeah, you were either a trampoline family or you weren't a trampoline family. Were you a trampoline family?
No, we were not a trampoline family.
Yeah, I think that's why we're such good friends because...
Did your parents just send you to a house with 26 other boys trying to make friends with one boy?
Yeah. That was actually how my preschool worked. It
the
was
Bachelor?
The boy. Check out the Bachelor. The Bachelor Boys. Come on.
Jimmy Kimmel do that.
He does the Baby Bachelor, which is really fun. That's a fun show. We thought of it first. He took our idea. Classic Kimmel taking our idea.
Always.
Tweet at him. At Jimmy Kimmel. Hashtag, why do you hate the Batch Boys? And tweet that at Jake and Daniel are at it. And speaking of that, while we're at that, I think they were trampoline kids. Jake had to be a trampoline kid.
Maybe that's why they're not here. They're on their trampolines right now.
If you're on a trampoline right now, Jake and Daniel, I'm going to find you. This is not just a show.
You can't just bounce forever.
What do you think this is? You can't just go on romantic trampoline dates and splash over each other in pools of water and not kiss.
Oh, God.
Coming at you, Wells.
Oh,
boom.
Man.
Want some ice for that burn?
Yeah, that was one of the hardest dates I've ever watched on this show. It was that was brutal. I mean, like, I was cringing the whole time, like, looking away. Yeah, I mean, let's start from the top. The most awkward part of it all to me was how they announced that they hadn't kissed right before they went on that date.
It was so weird because then the guys all made it their business too. They were like, "Oh, you know, Wells hasn't kissed her yet."
It felt like middle school. It literally felt like we were gone back to that place in time where like one guy says one like slightly mean thing to another guy in front of the whole group, and then all of a sudden that guy cannot lose it. Like Wells was the kid who pissed his pants in 6th grade, and he was just going out on a date with like all the kids who watched him piss his pants.
It reminded me of the time that I played Spin the Bottle at my local teen center, and my friends were there, and they had all kissed boys. Well, the boys had all kissed girls. We were fluid. We were very fluid middle schoolers, and everyone had kissed except me, and I was just desperately hoping to spin on one girl.
Did you get a kiss card? though, because that's the other level of this. Not only did they know that like they hadn't kissed, there was a card specifically saying, "You guys got to do this today."
Yeah, I got a card that said, "Hey Ryan, you're fat," and I was like, "Am I supposed to kiss you, Janet?"
Janet was her name?
That was the girl I kissed.
Oh,
yeah,
Janet.
right.
If your name's Janet, go ahead and tweet at us.
Tweet at the Bach Boys.
We miss it, Janet.
Hashtag Ryan's first kiss. Hashtag Ryan's last kiss. Marry me, Janet. Wow.
Anyways, I want to skip ahead to being in this date because the thing is that this is a perfect date. They walk into a nice, darkly lit room, Amos Lee style, with a little spotlight on them. It's real wet, real slippery, lots of touching. And Wells the whole time is just like, there's no castle tower for me to rescue her from, can't kiss her. It's like, dude, you got to just make a move. When you're so far that in your head, he dug his own grave.
Well, you look at a guy like Fabio.
Do you?
We gotta look at a guy like Fabio, the man who runs that like Cirque du Soleil-esque Brazilian performance.
Oh, I thought you meant like the Fabio.
Well, look at a guy like the real Fabio too. Any guy named Fabio knows how to make a move, and it's just so obvious that there are Fabios and there are Wellses.
Yeah.
And I like to think we fall somewhere in the middle.
Nah, I mean, yeah, sure. I'm not a Wells. I'm definitely not a Wells.
I'm certainly not a Fabio, but I'm certainly not a Wells either.
Yeah, it was just really hard because you watched him on the whole date. You saw him thinking the whole time. And I've never watched a Bachelor contestant think. You always have to just lose yourself in the date. And he never lost himself.
Well, that's the thing is I think watching Wells was a real person. You know, when she said something like, she was like, why are you sweating? Oh, yeah. She was like, why are you sweating? Because I mentioned your ex. And he was like, no, I'm sweating because it's freaking hot. And he like takes off his jacket. And I was like, that was dope, Wells. You're a cool guy.
It was dope. But on The Bachelor, that doesn't work. You have to just look at her and go, hey, you should know that it's so hot in here because I'm thinking about my relationship with you and how we're going to be together for a long time, perhaps.
You have a really creepily accurate Luke impression.
I know. I practice.
He practices, guys. This isn't just a show. You will find Luke and imitate his voice.
I will sit there and whisper sweet nothings in his ear until he doesn't know what up is down and down is left, and he doesn't know why.
Wow. You are so exotically Southern.
There's just this passion with Luke. This passion.
And they just like show him gripping her neck.
This doesn't mean we're done with Wells, because I think we're done with Wells.
It's like how can you even talk about Wells when there's like a man like Luke? Wow. Although Wells, I'd love to find the show that Wells DJs for, because honestly, he's got a great voice. I'm sure he's a great DJ.
Wells, come on the show, man. Talk to us about what that moment was like. We'd love to know.
They did kiss. It was so utterly awkward. There was the weird cheek kiss first, right? Remember that?
Oh, God.
It was like...
And you could see her just... She lost it was that moment where she closed the book.
Although he was like, what actually ended it? He was like, well, yeah, sometime, the relationship loses passion, and, you just got to be ready for that. And she was like, I don't want my relationship
to... She was like, you serious?
She was like, I don't want my relationship to lose passion.
And wait, we should talk about that, because I agree with JoJo.
Of course.
I like, the person you're supposed to be with, newsflash audience, the person you're supposed to be with, you don't lose passion with.
Exactly.
Like, if Wells is sitting there thinking that he's going to lose passion in every relationship he's ever going to be in, he's not going to find that person, because she's going to pass him by, because he's going to be too in his own head. And Wells, if you're listening, we know you are.
We know you're out there, Wells. He listens to every aspiring DJ just to compare himself.
He's a good-looking guy. He's smart. He's funny. He's not a great firefighter, but he's got a lot of charm, and he wears jean jackets. What else could you want? I'm just saying.
Those are all qualities you share, Case. Are you sure you're not a Wells?
Look, I didn't say I was not a Wells. I do own a jean jacket.
I think there's a little bit of Wells in all of us, guys.
Yeah.
And I think, but the point is, none of us know, because there's a little bit of Wells, but none of us here at the Bach Boys, and no one I'm close with, shares the belief that a romance needs to lose passion as it moves along, because F that, guys. Yeah, I went there. F that. I think, and it was weird because she was like, oh, I don't think a romance should lose passion. Like, I think you should be in love forever and like really want each other and always be excited. And he was like, oh, you want that kind of relationship?
Yeah.
And I was like, Wells, what?
And he was like, well, what happens when the cameras go away? And she was like, well, buy other cameras and we'll keep cameras around forever. You can get cameras anywhere nowadays. They're on your phone.
You could just pull a Lauren and Ben and have have your own TV
New
show made
spin-off.
about you. Yeah, everyone looking forward to Lauren and Ben, the show. I sure am. I picked her. Remember that? I picked Lauren B, the winner last year, and
And then you lost 3 times this year.
Nuh-uh.
You suck.
No, because my third pick, James, is still here, guys. He's hanging on by a thread.
Barely.
But he's still here.
I mean, let's talk about that.
Okay, well, who should we talk about? Because we got to go into...
I want to talk about James T and how much I hate him.
Okay, well, then that goes into the group date, because the group date is where James T, the altercation... Wells went home, which was great. Which was great. I mean, not great, because I liked Wells.
He wasn't right for JoJo. She wants some hot, spicy Luke love, and he's not hot nor spicy. He was a medium Wells.
Wow. Yeah. You celebrate that case. That was a real victory.
Sorry, I was just, for all you audio listeners, I was dabbing.
He was dabbing. Dab.
Anyways.
Yeah. Any Wells. He goodbye Wells. It was really great to see finally someone go home on a 101 though. It's been a long time since we've seen that. And that shows a real dedication from JoJo. She still got a couple makeouts in with him, but she still sent him home because it wasn't right.
It wasn't right, and she knows what she's here for.
She knows what she's here for. And she's here for a guy who's good at soccer, because that was the next date.
Ugh.
Fabio didn't make it to that one. Yeah, there was some other like Spanish-speaking gentleman there. Fabio was the guy who ran the Cirque du Soleil thing. I already talked about that.
Yes.
I really liked Fabio. He should be the next Bachelor. Hashtag Fabio for Bachelor.
Look.
Going to the group date. What are you going back to Fabio?
No, I want to talk about James T and why I hate him.
So James T won the What happened? What happened?
Look,
Case. What happened? You tell him what happened. You got the issue.
He did the thing that I want no Bachelor contestant to do, and I think is a thing that digs your own grave on this show. And I'm surprised he didn't go home because of it. He talked about someone else during his very little one-on-one time. Look, you just don't talk smack about someone, especially when the smack you're talking isn't even smack. If you're going to go to JoJo and say I have a problem with the guy, there better be an actual problem, not just like we were playing Go Fish and he didn't go fish. Like they were playing cards.
They were playing cards, and like
so
his rules were like slightly different than mine, so he was really entitled.
I respect no man who plays cards. No one.
Oh, so no gin rummy tonight, Case?
No.
Oh.
No, just look. I would like seriously. I take this very seriously. Everyone knows I'm a big process guy. I take the process seriously.
Much like your pick, Chase. I take this really seriously, and I'm not ready for jokes right now.
Exactly.
I hate that guy. I hate him so much, and we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it. But James, yeah, I agree. I mean, look, it's just insane to me at this point. That at this point, 20 seasons into The Bachelor, 12 seasons into The Bachelorette, you could still be the one to go complaining to the Bachelorette or Bachelor about another person. It never reflects good on you. It doesn't reflect good on you in any relationship in your real life. No one wants to hear like you sound like the problem when you're the one bringing up the problems. This is some real life advice from your boy Ryan S. at the Bachelor, Bach Boys Nation. Tweet at me if you agree with this advice. Hashtag Bach Boys Nation advice. Hashtag don't be a whiner.
Mm-hmm. And like, look, I hate Jordan Rogers as much as you hate Jordan Rogers, which is
a lot.
Yeah, it's because he's not right for JoJo and he's faking his way through a relationship because there are cameras there.
Derpy dweeb with a comb over and cross eyes.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. I don't like him for the reasons that actually matter. Anyways,
I don't like him because he's not as good as his brother.
So I was hoping that when we saw James in the preview talking smack about Jordan Rogers, that it was going to be something meaty. I thought it was going to be like a girlfriend back home or something. He was just like, he didn't budge about his rule with poker. And it's like, are you serious, dude?
It's like he sounds equally at fault for that too. It's like, okay, I get like, okay, he was pretty like, being stubborn about his rule. But it sounds like you were being just as stubborn back.
But then also Jordan's response to it was the worst thing I've ever heard, which is like, entitlement? I don't even know what that is. It's like, you don't know. Well, you know how entitled you sound saying that?
That's the thing is like, he was on to something. Like James, we like to call him Forrest Gump every once in a while because it's like he's there, he's on it, but he's not like 100% sure what's going on, but he's pointing out like some ultimate truth about society, whether or not he knows it. And he's like, well, he's just playing a game of cards and he seemed pretty entitled. And it's like, yeah, he was entitled, but I think this wasn't
That's not the example.
This wasn't the example, James. Maybe he would have done better if he'd sang a song about it. I wish he'd had his guitar at the moment.
Oh my God, I would lose it if he sang a song about Jordan's entitlement.
Well, Jordan's been entitled because he put his cause on the table and he sang. All right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, here's the other thing is that Jordan could have easily turned the tides on this and sent James packing if he was at least just like the slightest bit eloquent and didn't make a living getting hit in the head. Like, the dude had no idea how to defend himself, and it was so easy. It was like the defense he needed was just, JoJo, I don't care about a game of cards. I'm here for you, and I want to talk to you about whether or not I'm entitled. I don't care what James thinks of me. Do you think I'm entitled?
Let's do a little bit of role play here. Okay, I'm going to be JoJo. You be Jordan. I'll be like, okay, so Jordan, I heard you had an altercation with James because he made up a song on the spot and you didn't. Yeah, and you were he said you were entitled because you didn't let him finish the song and you didn't even reference that he sang the song.
I don't even know what entitled means. I don't know what songs are and I don't know who you are. Get out. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm here for you.
And see, I don't know what we learned from that role play.
But I learned that I don't do a good Jordan Rogers.
And I don't think I do a good JoJo. I think the real reason I wanted to bring it up was because you ignored the song I sang, Case, and it was funny.
It was fine. It's a good song.
It was getting somewhere.
Okay.
You're entitled, bro. You're entitled. Casey's entitled. Hashtag Casey's entitled. Tweet at Bach Boys. Do it.
It's because my brother's a superstar. What do you want me to do? Of course I'm entitled.
Your brother's just got such a better Bachelor podcast, Casey, and like you're never going to be as good as him.
Did you miss me doing like 6 hair flips while you were talking to me?
I saw it. I just couldn't look because it was really funny and I didn't want to. Audio people, he did like 6 hair flips.
Yeah, it was great.
Check out the video at Bach Boys YouTube. I don't know how to. Daniel does all the advertisements. I don't remember who Daniel is.
I miss Daniel.
Damn, Daniel. I miss Daniel.
Don't bring that back.
I miss Daniel. Wow. I miss Daniel. I miss Chad. Who else do I miss? That's it. No one else memorable was
Not
there.
Evan. We still hate you.
I hate you, Evan. This isn't just a show. I hate you.
Yeah, I mean, so just to wrap it up, I don't like James T because he's doing what happens to every Bachelor contestant who's not right for the person. He's capitulating to the idea that he's not good enough.
Nice word.
Yeah, he's falling under the spell that I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be here. And in doing that, he's trying to bring down other people. And that's not a recipe for being a confident, smart dude, which he is if he just focused on himself and his music.
I so think he could be the next Bachelor if he just got a little bit of a better haircut. Just a little bit. It's weird. He looks so much better in like the normal episode than when he's in the confessional. It's like night and day. I don't know what they do with his hair in the time between. Maybe it's just before he showers or something. I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing with him was weird. But then Jordan, like sitting in the chair with his wine, and they were like, "Why are you acting so weird, dude?" And he's like, "What?"
I'm not.
He's like chewing on his glass. He was like, I'm not acting weird. Who's acting weird? So he's like chomping broken glass through his teeth.
Why are you acting weird?
You know, like he was just like, ugh.
He was just clearly a kid who never had to actually learn how to talk to people, and he could just throw a football around. And as much as I would love to not be this guy who's just tearing him apart for being nothing but a football player, I'm starting to realize that he's nothing but a football player.
Well, it's like all of these guys are just like, okay, Jordan, the career tags on all their name tags, Jordan, former football player, Robbie, former swimmer. Yeah, what are their jobs? Like Alex, Marine. What
Luke,
do you do?
You're war veteran.
You're like 27, 28, all of you. What are your jobs? I'm 22.
Whoa, calling him out.
I don't have a job, but I'm 22, and I host a very successful Bachelor podcast. Have you heard of us? The Bach Boys. Check out the Bach Boys. #1 podcast online. Oh, you're watching it? Good.
Yeah, well, the one that really bothers me, too, is I want to know what Robbie's is this former competitive swimmer. Like, Jordan might have made some money doing former football. You didn't make any money as a former swimmer.
He didn't even go to like the Olympics. He swam for like Florida State. Like, you are not. What did you do for the last like 8 years? Where have you been? Dating your secret girlfriend back home off the show?
My favorite is still my pick, Chase, who's a medical sales rep in Colorado, aka pot dealer.
Yeah, we know you're dealing pot. And I know he's a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy.
He sent my pick, my other pick number 2 out of 3. I'm batting 33 right now.
You're batting terribly. Look, Derek went home because he was cocky.
No, are you kidding me? Derek is so shy and timid, and Derek.
He convinced himself to be cocky.
Derek had a stronger connection with her on the date. That was the more confusing thing.
What? Because he touched his nose to her nose? No.
Chase couldn't do it, and Chase was complaining. He was so insecure the whole time. And then all of a sudden he goes, and then Derek goes home. Nice guy, Derek.
Look, I think this shows a lot about what JoJo wants. That's what I think happened here. Is that JoJo wants Chase. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
I'm killing it tonight.
She's already decided.
No, serious. No, I mean like she wants to go after someone in both, chase in literal and metaphorical. She wants a chase. She wants to be pining after someone who's still not fully there. Both the guys who say I love you to her, they're going home. Robbie's going to go home. It's just a matter of time.
Although it honestly feels like Robbie has like stepped back in his emotions a little bit. Like what he's not saying I love you anymore, and he's certainly hasn't even talked about it.
He's the clear front runner.
No, that's the preview, right? Wasn't that the preview?
Yeah.
Nothing looks like it happens on that preview, though. Next week looks like it's going to stink. And is it on the 4th of July?
I don't know. But
what, do they not care about veterans? ABC,
hashtag just a veteran.
They started hashtag just a veteran, hashtag just a Marine. Here at the Bach Boys, hashtag all veterans are war heroes.
/ hashtag just a veteran.
Well, yeah, we started them all.
But
we're sorry.
Back to Derek.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
We're so sorry. Look, back to Derek. The thing that drives me nuts about him is that he was cocky. And I knew from the moment we saw him in his confessional being like, I'm staying here because I'm right for her and he's not. You go home every time you approach a situation.
I think he was, though. And honestly, I do think that Derek, it's like, no, Chase is more of a Jordan Rodgers, and Derek is more of a Ben. And Ben would have been right for JoJo, I think, in terms of like she needs a guy who actually is going to be nice to her, is going to say nice things to her, and treat her nicely.
I agree, but I don't think it's what she wants right now, and I think that's because she still has some maturing to go.
It's because JoJo's not here for the right reasons, and now that no one else is here except you, and I think you agree with me on this, I do not think JoJo's here for the right reasons.
No, she's too shallow. At the end of the day,
I don't know. We're not going to hear like shame JoJo or anything, but I just feel like she is. I don't know that JoJo's looking for forever, and I'm willing to place a bet on whatever happens at the end of this show isn't going to last. This isn't a Lauren and Ben love story. This is a JoJo. I think she's going to find another Chad on this show, unfortunately.
I think she's looking for forever. I think she's just looking for forever in
the wrong places.
No, I think she wants like a guy who she could see forever with, but she doesn't care whether or not it's there yet. Like, I think that's why she likes Luke. She's like, he's hot enough and cool enough to be someone I would date and marry. So let's find out. Versus a James Taylor, who I agree with you has a lot of great qualities that make him a forever kind of diamond. But
Forever Diamonds by K. Jewelers.
She just can't see herself with him right now. She's like, the way she described him was so sad. She's like, he has all the qualities of someone I want in a life partner. If you're describing someone you want as a life partner, there's no sexual attraction.
Excuse me. Life partner is actually the politically correct term because it's alienating to ask someone if they have a husband or wife because they could be like a different sexuality.
All right, spouse. How about the word spouse? My point is that the words life partner make you dry.
I don't know. I don't know why people don't use spouse, but partner is the politically correct term. Is what you're supposed to do. Is my partner because you're partners. You're life partners.
Look, JoJo's not concerned about being politically correct.
ABC's not. I don't know because they're sadists. I don't know why. I just like calling them sadists. They haven't done anything wrong to us really in the last couple weeks,
except for keep Alex on the show
and to keep lying. Yeah, Alex, go home. It was funny at one point in the show that they were like, "Oh, it was the group date. It was a group date." And they cut to the rose, and they were like, who's going to get the rose? And the next shot was Alex. And I literally out loud was like, lol, no. Definitely not you.
Although he did one thing this episode that I actually really respected. And as a guy who doesn't like him at all, I found it crazy that I respected it. Is that he was like, at the end of the day, she needs to give me a one-on-one because if I'm not worth pursuing, then that's fine. I'll go home. But like if she sees something with me, she needs to try it out. I like that he understands that this is a reciprocal relationship and that it's not going to be right for him if she doesn't want it too. A lot of the guys are just like, I want her so bad, like please. And he's just like, if she doesn't like me, fine, send me home. But if she sees something, she needs to give me some time. I like that he demands that of her because I think it's fair.
He's just so lame, dude.
I agree,
it was funny, because at the end they were like at the cocktail party even. Like we hadn't seen any of Alex the whole episode, and then at the cocktail party there's like a normal shot of like two of the regular height guys, and then they just like look off screen and you're like, how you doing, bud? And it's like pans down to Alex. And they're like, I was like, oh yeah, how are you doing, bud? Like, I haven't seen you here all episode, man. Where you been? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know.
All I'm waiting for is a shot that like pans across their feet where you just see them all like nervously tapping, and then Alex's they have to go up like 10 inches to go find. That's the shot I want, please, ABC.
Well, they did it at the initial episode of like him dangling his feet, and that was so funny.
He looks like an elf in Santa's workshop.
He's so cute, except for the fact that he's so aggressive and has a really nasty Napoleon complex.
I think he's going to have ankle problems later in life from all the time he has to hop off the benches onto the ground.
The bench is like bench pressing?
No, like any seat. Oh, he has to hop down, do a little scamper.
He's got like a little puppy. You know how puppies, like, their knees haven't even fully developed yet, so he's like...
Yeah, he's like one of those puppies who isn't cute.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, you're supposed to be cute. Aww.
He's like one of those puppies that, like, when you go to feed it, it bites you, and you're like, don't bite the hand that feeds you, and it's like, hey, I'm 8 inches shorter than you, but I'll still fight you like I'm a tall guy.
Yeah, it is always the small dogs who are pretty aggressive regardless of the fact that they can't do anything.
What dog is only 8 inches shorter than me? What was I... Like, I'm thinking like...
Alex?
Woof. Ha-ha! And that was this episode of The Bachelorette?
Yeah,
What show
Bachelorette.
are we watching? This is a great show. I like to think that next week's going to be good, but I really have my doubts because they're putting it on the 4th of July. I really just can't imagine it's going to be that good.
I also just need to see both James and Alex go home. I don't know why she kept both. I thought she was going to get rid of both of them.
Now, that was what they want us to believe, and then it was like right before it that I was like, oh, that's what's happening. And where is Chris Harrison? Why are they not showing Chris Harrison? Did he do something wrong?
I think he knows that JoJo's there for the wrong reasons.
But it was even last season. Like, I feel like he is taking such a hiatus from this show. Hashtag, where is Chris? Everyone in the Bach Boys Nation, tweet at Chris Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him the Bach Boys are looking for him. All of Bachelor Nation wants him, and specifically the Bach Boys Nation wants him.
Ryan wants him.
I want him. Tell him to come on the show. This isn't just a show, Chris. We will find you, and you will become our best friend because we like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and Bachelor Pad, which doesn't exist anymore, and Bachelor in Paradise and any subsidiary program thereof, including After Paradise, which we'd love to come on, Chris Harrison.
Yes, please.
Tell him, guys. Okay. Are you doing it? We'll wait. We'll wait for you to tweet. We'll wait. Do you think they've done it yet, Casey?
Maybe.
Are they doing it right now? Shh. I can't hear anything.
Oh, I heard some keyboards clicking.
Yeah, I heard it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Anyways.
Chris, we miss you. Hope you're doing okay. And because I'm not doing well without you. Chris, I don't know how long I have. This is my make-a-wish. Is this appropriate? Is this an appropriate road to go down?
We're going to get you some help. Anyways,
that's The Bachelor Boys. Just a couple of Bachelor Boys.
should we cheers to JoJo hopefully getting rid of someone next week, please?
Yeah, hopefully JoJo will get rid of somebody. Hopefully she'll find someone to love for the rest of her life. It's probably going to be Luke or Jordan. And if that's the case, good luck because they both smell like stinky garbage.
And that's our show.
That's The Bachelor Boys. What are we called?
The Bach Boys.
I can't remember.
JoJo.
I can't remember anything without Jake and Daniel.
Bye.
To JoJo?
To JoJo.
To JoJo. Stop reaching.
Cheers me.
You don't know how to cheers.
Fine.
We're in a fight. Let's take a quick sip. Oh, we're chugging? Okay, we're chugging, guys. Hey, we got extra time. There's no rules this season.